Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Master of Punk's Tamer of Sages, the king of the ring himself. It's your boy Thicky Smalls, Gerard Michaels in the house. Well done. Handled well.
That's beautiful.
Welcome back to Gas Digital. It's your boy Slick and Thick, Gerard Michaels here, and fresh back from the cocoa farms of Colombia at 6'3", 220 pounds, and every one of them is a problem. The master of punks, the tamer of sages, the CEO of the RNC, the king of the ring himself, Slick Mickey Gall. What's going on, man?
What up, Big G?
Hey, we got a guest today, buddy.
We got a motherfucking guest in the house.
Who we got?
So, we have... I'm going to give this guy a little introduction. I first heard of this guy. You were telling me a lot about this guy. Wanted him to be a part of the live show. I was like, gee, we got a lot going on. I'm not so sure.
Too much. Show's already packed.
Show's pretty packed. He's like, nah, this dude's a great impressionist. Turns out, motherfucker goes on and steals the show.
That's all anybody would talk about.
The show. So many people. Everyone's talking about it. My family members. Everyone became a big Jason Scoop fan. Our guest today is Jason Scoop. My question to you, Jason Scoop, coming in there stealing all the thunder from our show, where the fuck do you get off?
Where do you get off?
Where do you get off?
Man, for me, it's all about the crowd, man. It's like everybody's got an ego, all that shit.
You're looking at two egos right here and we're pissed.
Hey, but I love you guys, man. I think you guys are so cool. And, you know, Gerard's parents, they were like, you're so great. And it just, the whole day was great, man. A lot of love in that room, a lot of love. And I thank you guys for having me.
Bro,
truly.
You killed it. If people haven't watched the live show, go check out the live show. You get to watch Scoop crush it. You absolutely crushed it. It was amazing. I'm a big fan. Like I told you, I now go through your Instagram. Like I'll watch your Instagram like it's a TV show for like 10 minutes and watch you doing your thing, bro. It's great.
What's crazy is I was dressed as Trump waiting in the wings to go up on your show, and I get a breaking news from whatever, not CNN, like New York Times for some reason sends me alerts, and it's like Donald Trump indicted again in Miami. While I'm waiting to go on, and you know how focused you got to be when you're going on stage. I'm like, Expedia.com, Miami, hotel, flight, booked. Everything was booked within 2 minutes, and then it was like confirmed debit card, boom, and then you're like, Donald Trump, everybody. And then I went up and I did my thing, and because I went to the first indictment, and that really changed my whole life. That's when everything for me exploded, and things haven't slowed down since. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice, bro. Yeah, no, you're very talented.
Thank you.
Very talented.
So are you guys, man.
Well, when did you first?
Muchas gracias. Sorry, man. I'm losing my English. I've spent so much time in Colombia. You know what I mean?
Well, before we get into Scoop, let's talk about Empire MMA a little bit. You were down there.
Oh, we're gonna put the camera on me, actually.
Let's put. Yeah. What are we doing? Are we doing split screen? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, we got three screens, right?
Let's go. We got three screens here, Christian. What's going on here, bud? There we go.
You know what's really cool about Mickey? I said Mickey's cool, but you know what's really cool about Mickey?
Yeah, I was gonna say that was an understatement, but you know, you go on.
Because I asked you, I said, Colombia, did you do any cocaine? And you said, hey, no powders, no pills. That's what's really cool.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm afraid I'd like it too. Gotta keep it in check.
It's like,
no. I went to Colombia, did no powders, no pills, no interactions with any cartels. You know what I mean? It was a smooth. You saw some of the fights.
I saw the fights. Not only that, I thought I would love to be able to mess with you because, you know, you like calling me a civilian in the fight world, you know? But now you're in the media. You're in my world, baby.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be able to come down hard on you and give you a checklist. But I thought you were fantastic. You and the guy you were with was really good.
Ben the Bane.
Really good.
So that was for Empire MMA. It's the biggest show in Colombia right now. A lot of like young, hungry talent down there. But that was Ben the Bane Davis, who I did it with. He was like 23-year-old kid, but like very, very professional. I was very impressed by him. Like he's got his own voice, and he like does his thing. Very, very impressive. Yeah, Ben the Bane Davis. We'll get him on the podcast one of these days.
Pull up a clip if you have it, Christian. I thought the talent was really good on the fights. I thought, you know, you guys commentated it great. I think Empire MMA's got something pretty cool there.
There's some stars.
Look at that, a flying knee. Thanks for playing Hammer Fist.
Run that again. Run that again for me. And doink. Oh! Bang, bang.
Now,
and honestly, I was more impressed by other people than him on that night.
El Patron just does
Yeah,
a little.
my boy El Patron did his thing.
He really
Juan
hit it.
Trujillo.
He hit him with the. He hit him with the. What's that? What's the? I'm not sounding like such an old guy now. What's the Fortnite move when you drag your nuts on somebody when you teabag them? You just hit him with the teabag.
Yeah. No, he did his thing.
That's an aggressive mood. That's an aggressive
This
move.
girl's good too.
In a country where assassins are on every corner.
Yeah. I think we had one on the card.
Oh, you had a Sicario?
I'm pretty sure.
Oof.
So this one dude, he's got his eyeballs tattooed. And it's one of the craziest things I've ever
balls.
seen. Like
gotta
his
hurt.
eyeballs are tattooed, so it's all black. The whole entire eye is black.
Jesus.
I should. Wish I
That's
could find-
intimidating because if he's willing to endure that pain himself,
what
like
I'm
what
saying,
pain
bro.
are you inflicting on that guy?
That's what I'm saying. Me and Ben was like, so did that hurt when you got that? And he was like, yeah. Like, yeah, duh. I got my eyeballs tattooed.
Needle in my eye.
Yeah, nah, but and it couldn't have been like a nicer kid too. But yeah, great time out there in Colombia. Did a MMA seminar with MMA Colombia and got to there's the boys. Scroll in on Andres.
Andres Escudero. None of this has the Narcos trumpets. That's a foul.
Yeah,
we got to get the trumpets going.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever had a battle bar?
No, I've never had a battle
They
bar.
are phenomenal.
Whoa, bro!
Phenomenal.
Thank you for bringing them up. I was gonna bring that up. They actually, so Battle Bar's got a whole new flavor out.
Get out of here.
And now listen, actually, I was actually gonna think maybe we get Scoop to do a couple taste tests and do them in different impressions.
Hey!
But what I got
I'd
over
love
here,
to try a battle bar for America.
so they got this new flavor. They got these s'mores ones.
Oh,
Now I'm not a s'mores guy.
I love s'mores.
I figured you might.
Yeah, big fan.
I figured you might. Look, I'm
doesn't like
not,
s'mores?
I don't like s'mores almost anything.
Look at the battle
So
bar s'mores.
I'm excited to give this a try and
Yeah.
see if they can if they can change my mind on this. And
No.
this is a first, like, look, these are brand new. These are brand new, unopened. We're gonna see today. You know, this is gonna be
Looks
genuine.
great.
I've not tried this motherfucker before.
Now, friends of the podcast know that ASMR, the sounds of people eating, slurping, drive me out of my mind. Like, it's insane how much I hate them. But for battle bars, this segment's
Listen,
worth it.
battle bars, just put it in your mouth.
Just put it in your mouth and swallow.
Battle bars,
Battle
put
bars.
it in your mouth.
Put it in you.
Dipped it in coffee.
It's delicious, is what it is.
Is it already? You're already saying that?
It's unbelievable.
All right. Let's see. You want to give it a
I'm
try?
more like you, Mickey. I don't like chocolate. I prefer vanilla. But it's
Same.
ironic because I love chocolate people.
Right.
And a lot of people feel the exact opposite. They don't like chocolate people, but they like to eat the sweet food.
Now, before we get canceled, disclaimer, he's quarter chocolate.
yeah,
so he
yeah.
can
My
say
mom's
whatever he
from
wants.
Trinidad and Tobago, so I have like more carte blanche.
Yeah, brown privilege.
Brown privilege, baby. Woohoo.
So you're Trini, huh?
My cousin's Trini.
Where's?
Yeah. Shout out Chad.
Have you ever met a tranny from Trini?
No. I don't have.
A Trini
that
tranny
stuff
sounds
is-
like a good time.
What do you think? Be honest.
It's fantastic, right? Everybody wants. What's it called again?
Battle
Battle
bars.
bar.
Everybody wants a battle bar. What the hell is the battle bar? Did you see that clip?
Yeah.
They
with
put
the
everybody in
blizzards.
blizzard.
Yeah.
I think it's actually delicious, and like I said, I'm not even a big fan of s'mores or chocolate, but this is. I'm a big consistency guy, and the texture and the feel of the crunch is fire.
It's unbelievable. It really is.
It's like a healthy Rice Krispie
It's the
treat.
best protein bar I've ever had. It's not even close. Now, growing up, Scoop,
fuck with it.
were you doing impressions and stuff growing up? When did you know that you had this talent to kind of like?
3rd grade.
Really?
Yeah.
You must
I
have
started
been a nightmare in the classroom.
Man, that's when I broke out
That
of my
would have been my
shell.
best buddy right there. I'd be like, do it.
100%.
I'd have been such an instigator. I would have got you in so much trouble.
I was shy up until then, and then I started watching SNL, and Daryl Hammond was the guy who did it, man.
Daryl Hammond.
Yeah, watching him do Bill Clinton and like Regis Philbin. What are we gonna do? Bada bing, bada boo. And like, it was just like. He brought a little bit of Daryl Hammond.
Forgotten legend, Daryl
He had
Hammond.
this little twinkle in his man. He brought the magic. It wasn't just an imitation. There was something magical about it. And I saw that, and the effect that it had on me, I was like, I want to do that. So I'd go to school. I didn't know what I was doing. I was doing Al Gore saying, this is George Bush. I'm like, I'm George Bush. None of the kids knew who George Bush was. They're like, that's funny. But then I kept doing it. And then by the time I got to middle school, my voice changed a little bit, and I actually started getting good. And the rest is history. I remember I had a
Interesting.
social studies teacher. This is when The Apprentice started. I started doing Trump in 7th grade. This is like 2004.
You started doing Donald Trump in 7th grade?
Correct.
Huh.
My social studies teacher, Miss Galileo, whatever the hell. And she was like,
Shout out Miss Galileo, whatever the hell.
She goes, before
Sounds
I
like a
start
German name.
teaching class, do your Trump. So,
That's back when teachers were okay with him.
yeah.
That's back before every teacher in America decided he was a Nazi.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting that you said your voice changed,
A little bit.
and
yeah.
but you'd been doing it already.
I'd been
And we
doing
kind
it
of talk
already.
about that, like that hardwire, like you probably hardwired your ability a little bit.
Yeah.
By doing it like through that time, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Your voice probably, like they say, if you do something for like 7 years, like your cells, your DNA, all that stuff, like the 10,000 hours. rule,
Practice
stuff like
makes
that.
perfect.
So you kind of formed, and it probably gave you a little bit of like a superhuman power with these impressions.
Yeah, man, and it never stopped. And then, I at the time, though, I did accents and impressions. Then there was this little girl, Rachel Weiner. She was in the drama club with me. We were doing Fiddler on the Roof.
You fiddled her on the roof?
With his wiener.
And Rachel Weiner, she had a little rat face.
Highbrow stuff here today.
Rachel Weiner had a little rat face, and she's doing accents. She's doing like British and Indian, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? And that's when I'm like, okay, but you can't do impressions, and that's when I leaned even harder into impressions. So really, part of the reason why I'm here today is for spite.
For spite and
Rachel
jealousy.
Weiner.
Yeah, I'm like, spite and jealousy of Rachel Weiner.
Nice.
What's up, man? So you started doing the impressions, and there's so much more than voice inflection that goes into impression. Your face changes, your body changes, you learn the whole
Capturing the
mannerisms.
person's essence.
Yeah, one of the funniest things about your Donald Trump is the handshake.
The handshake.
Everybody
Wait,
loves the handshake.
the
I start
dance.
pulling them in, man.
The handshake
I like
between
the
Trump
dance he
and
does. I
Rogan.
like how he's like a little bit off to the side too. Like,
Right.
Did you see the Trump Rogan epic handshake?
Oh my-
Neither of them would let go. They're both
Yeah.
clearly aware of
Right.
trying to out alpha each other, and they're both making eye contact the whole time, smiling the whole time, and holding hands the whole time. It was like,
yeah, both like kind of pulling. There's like a tug of war going on.
yeah. Everybody on the internet's just like, just kiss,
Yeah.
just do it, kiss. It's hilarious, man.
Why hasn't Donald Trump
UFC
done
290.
Joe Rogan yet?
Go ahead, pull it up. Go ahead.
Why hasn't Trump hasn't done Rogan's podcast?
No, Rogan won't do it.
Why?
I think he's coming around to the idea. I think his whole thing was like Trump was unnecessarily provocative, and he was a provocateur, and he didn't want to give. He steamrolls the interviews. He didn't want to give.
Are you sure?
That's what Rogan had said.
I think one
But
of
I
Joe
think
Rogan's
he's coming around to the idea.
I'd be interested to hear that.
I think one of Joe Rogan's superpowers
Here's the
his ability to adapt.
This is the greatest handshake since Arnold and Carl Weathers in Predator. Look at this thing.
Oh,
Nope.
He's like, nope. Come on.
Nope. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Nice. I got to come on your show.
Yes.
I'll get you on.
Did you see that he said that? Because
That's what I'm trying to see. It's been long enough. I don't know.
It's gonna happen.
I used to always try and
For reference, Christian, pull up the Predator Arnold and Carl Weathers handshake, so the younger generation knows.
Of lip reading. I used to always like try and like lip read like the guys on the sideline like during like football games and stuff because you can't hear them but they're saying stuff.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason it just came to my mind. I remember one time I was with my dad. I was like saw the guy go like. And I was like, what do you think that guy just said? And he goes, fuck.
Your dad didn't even mess around with it?
No, he was like, fuck. He just said, fuck me.
Look at this. Is this the greatest handshake of all time? Let's take it. Run it back from the beginning. Yeah. This would be seen as a hate crime if this came out in a movie today.
Why?
Look at this.
I'm too young. I don't know this reference.
Dylan, you son
You don't
of
know
a
it either?
bitch.
You do
Look
know
at
it.
this. Look. Oh, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. Oh, back when men were men.
I've seen that picture, that
that's
meme
a meme.
before.
Of course. They've got you pushing too many pencils. Okay, Dutch. Okay.
That's fire.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura in that movie. That one of the best lines in cinema history.
They're having a
Goes,
standing up arm wrestling contest.
yeah, they are.
That's weird.
Make Hollywood great again. Anyway,
I moved to the Baja. It's great to be here on the Slick and Thick podcast. Hope you know they were involved in the takedown of Building 7.
Governor Ventura, what are your thoughts on Chris Kyle and the Navy SEALs?
Chris Kyle, I don't even know who the hell that is.
Is that the guy who punched him in the face?
Yeah, I think
he
he
claims
beat
to.
his ass or something.
Well, no, then apparently it never happened. He won like a sizable
yeah,
lawsuit.
Ventura, right?
Well, Kyle had died, and then everybody in the SEAL community was like, dropped the lawsuit. He was like, no. Oh, my
I'm actually-
reputation matters.
Running for president
macho
of the
man.
SEAL community.
Straight macho man.
Reputation matters.
Yeah, Lenny Puffle. Yeah. Anytime you try to do see, this is why I love the impression. Like,
I know I fall into different things.
it's impossible.
not- yeah.
Like, you could get like one or two words in a good accent.
Do
and
your
be
best
like,
Donald-
I can
do
do
your
this.
best
I can
Donald
do
Trump.
this.
Just so we can make us look both look like
my
fools.
best Donald Trump would be like, it's unbelievable
That was not bad.
what they're doing. The greatest numbers ever in the African American.
That was pretty good.
Well, it was crazy. We had Roger Stone on. Shout out to friend of the program, Sally Greco, friend of yours as well. Big
We
Sal.
love Sal. We love
big,
Roger.
Big
Love
good looking
Sal.
Sally Raines. But it was wild. I don't know if you felt this way, Mick, but for the first 5 minutes, Roger Stone was sitting here. The whole thing I could think of is he impersonating Donald Trump or is Donald Trump impersonating him?
I literally said that to you after the podcast too. Because I almost said something about it, and I was going to be like, is he doing a Trump or is Trump doing a him?
It was wild.
You know, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
A lot of
Chris Christie. He can't run for anything. He doesn't run on a treadmill. He's not running for president. I
Yeah,
was like,
sticking
what
the
is that?
things out a little bit. Yeah.
And then you see your governor here in this state, Ron DeSantis, doing a lot of this, and he didn't do this before.
Yeah, who's teaching these guys this?
I don't know. I think they just absorb it.
Yeah, well, you see it on ESPN a lot too, when somebody's new on ESPN and they're doing commentating, and out of nowhere they're like, "So what you want to do when you're doing the thing that you're seeing is?" And it's like, Jesus Christ, booger, calm down, man. Relax, bro. We get it.
I'm Donald Trump. I do a worse impression than Jason Scoop.
It's funny though.
That's not bad though. See, to me, that's what Donald Trump. That you gave an old school Donald Trump. That was Donald Trump on
That's
The
80s
Apprentice.
Trump.
That was Apprentice
I'm
Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Before he got the Stone influence.
That's Macaulay Culkin looking for where's my directions, Donald Trump. Now we've got President Trump
That's
over here.
my boy Ryan, who produces Gavin McInnes' show. He's a master impressionist. Me and him just go back and forth. And Ryan does every era of Trump. He does 80s Trump, 70s Trump, 90s Trump, Trump 2 years ago, Trump now. And he's like, well, 80s Trump was a lot more calm. But he's like, well, Oprah, if things really got that bad, I would run Oprah. And she's like,
And everybody applauded. Everybody applauded. It was a whole different time. Yeah, I would run. Yeah, do you still get jealous the way you did with Rachel Weiner when you see Bob DeBuono out there crushing it as Trump and you see him as competition?
What?
Who's the best Trump out there right now?
It's just that just makes me sick. It's like I do this to make before all the money and all this shit. I do this because I like making people laugh and I like making people happy.
Genuinely.
Yes, genuinely. And I hear because I've become
you'd like
I've
some
become
money if they want to give it to you though, right?
No, the money is fair. The money, we love money, right? But I hear
how much I love battle bars?
They're so
good.
they're so good. But I've heard.
I thought you'd like a s'mores. I knew if you just put it in your mouth, dude, you'd be all right. You know what
All
I mean?
bullshit aside, this is their best one yet.
The s'mores?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they just released it here. I'm gonna give you another one. G, ready?
But I've heard other Trump impressions
That'd
talking
funny
shit
if you
about
fought in
me.
your mouth.
Try it.
Give it back. Let's try it for the cameras. Ready?
This
So
is your
it's
first time here.
athleticism.
Yeah. We're not going to let you continue.
Oh no.
Sorry. Yeah, totally fine. Hey, are you getting this, Ben? 1, 2.
One more time.
That big fucking tongue.
Did you chip a fucking tooth on
Bro, if you chipped a tooth on a battle bar, you're a fucking pussy.
No, it just goes to show. No, there's. Ow. That was too hard.
I gave you a nice little loft.
I know. It's
Oh,
gravity.
you're missing a tooth.
Get out of here.
Oh, he been missing that tooth. He good.
So let's get back into character by you're Cat Williams and I come in missing a tooth. You're my dentist. Go.
You know these white motherfuckers doing they slick and thick podcast. I was on
What the hell was the?
Wildin' Out with Nick Cannon. He has 75 trillion motherfucking kids, and I still got more kids, but the media don't cover my kids because I'm a real ass.
Word.
You can say
Word.
You can say 1/4 of that word. You could probably say
Because I'm a real ass motherfucking.
if you had to say 1/4 of the word, would it be the NI or would it be the ER?
Whoa. Guys.
What neighbor?
Everybody knows you don't touch the R. The R is the third rail.
Yeah. Rail. Third rail. Yeah. So you were talking before about Donald Trump and everybody else getting in on this grift.
Yeah.
Bob DeBuono, who I've known for a real long time, really now, I haven't talked to him about this, but I'm interested to know because he was a really good comic, really good comedian before this. And now he's known almost exclusively for Trump. It's made him a lot of money, and it's got him some really great pub.
Sure.
But that's all anybody ever wants anymore is Trump, 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 Trump. They don't want to hear his material. They don't, So I wonder if it's kind of a gift and a curse for getting into a character like this.
Well, I'd also say, I don't want to speak out of whatever the phrase is, but I don't think he hates Trump's guts. He's like a big liberal Democrat person. I don't hate Trump, so it's got to suck extra if you hate his guts.
Yeah,
I don't hate him.
Yeah, I think it's better. Like I one of the reasons why I like yours is that you're not doing it from a just over the top shit on him type of place, from a hateful place,
right?
Well, I think that's a great point, Mick, because I think somewhere along the line where Saturday Night Live and late night comedy
it just becomes a little
nobody likes a bully.
And it's nice where because then it loses its, but also it loses its its reality,
sure,
so to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And also you're
so what I'm looking for, not contrived, but it's, you know what I mean?
It's forced. It's like every night you're doing propaganda.
Over the top.
You're not doing comedy, you're doing propaganda. And when you're an activist, they're counterintuitive because activism is meant to be taken seriously and comedy's not meant to be taken seriously. So if the message is more important than the comedy, they're running into each other in opposite directions, right? So Alec Baldwin does a great Donald Trump, but it's very clearly bullying.
We know he hates him so much.
I mean, it's like when you're doing something like nobody would do this anymore, but it's like when there was a developmentally disabled kid or something like that, and you're mimicking them. Well, that's not an impression. That's bullying.
Right.
That's he finds it funny though.
It's funny.
He finds it funny.
It's funny though.
As long as we're together on it, as long as I make fun of myself, and as long as I'm not putting you down, and it's like you put your arm around him at the end, and get a little of this guy, then there's love. So I do think comedy kind of does have to come from love in that regard.
Right. If you're becoming you have to find something about the person you're imitating to like. Like when I do Biden, yes, he's very easy to make fun of. He falls around, he's dead. But when I become him, I'm everybody loves an old man.
Yeah.
So I become like an old man who's it's there's, like I said, there's a little lovableness, and I hate Biden's guts. I think he should not be president, whatever, but you can't, even when I do Adolf Hitler.
What was that now?
You got, Hitler, no, just listen. Hitler,
what do you find that you love about it?
It's this is funny. You know what I mean? Everybody makes Hitler jokes. I don't love Hitler. I'm not hashtag no Kanye.
Hey, which reminds me,
What's going on there?
we
With the
met.
tattoo?
Let me see that tattoo. Can you show the camera your tattoo?
I got a Kanye 2020.
That's a real tattoo, huh? You got a Kanye 2020. That thing aged well, huh?
When I saw that Hitler stuff, I was like, I'm the real victim here. I have his name smacked across my arm.
That's for life.
For life.
For life. And it's not that's not the name Kanye. You can't really change that
this
easily.
is another Kanye West. Kanye who ran for president.
No, it's not that Kanye. It's another.
This is my cousin Kanye.
Yeah, it's Kanye.
He was on the ballot in Rhode Island.
Hey, you could have a Trini cousin,
he
Kanye.
Died in 20.
I believe it.
He died in 2020. This is a memorial, aren't you? Don't you feel like an asshole?
Yeah. Piece of shit.
Yeah, asshole.
How dare you?
How dare you? Oh, Trump, also a cousin.
Yeah, I did get a Trump 2016 tattoo also.
Oh, you did?
But I got this as a joke. I literally got this thinking he was running as a joke, and I was drunk and I thought it'd be. I got this the day he came down the escalator.
Yo, that is hysterical that you get joke tattoos on the most prominent place, right on the middle of your forearm.
And people say to me, they're like, "Do you ever get any shit?" I'm like, "No," because people ask, and I just tell them, "No, it's the day he announced. I thought it was a joke. I got drunk. My friends paid for it. That's it." And nobody's ever gotten mad, except for 2 separate occasions, both with black women who were interested in me at first. Then they saw this, and they were like, "Oh, I thought you was cute." That's the only close to 9 years I've had this. The only people who have ever really gotten in my face about it were 2 black girls who was like, "I thought you was cute, but I'm done with you."
How does the black side of your family think about Trump and your impressions and everything?
I mean, my family comes from Trinidad and they're
Trinidad's
mixed.
not really black.
No. I come from black lineage, but it's not America where it's like black is embraced. Like my mom grew up like she wasn't like there was no black was not popular. Like black was not liked. Nobody in my family, except for the ones in England, they embraced it. And I have like the Spike Lee of England is my like second uncle or whatever that I never
Guy
met.
Ritchie?
Yeah, whoever. But no, my family doesn't really identify as black, even though we are kind of black. I mean, I do. I love black people. I said before, I love black people.
Okay.
All right. I don't think that needed to be said, but
No, I say it because a lot of people don't like black people, and I speak up for black people.
You said
for
that
the record,
before.
here it's Slick and Thick.
I don't know.
Love
I
black
don't know
people.
anyone who doesn't like black
I know
people.
a lot of people who don't like
Really?
black people.
You know some pieces of shit, my friend.
Yeah, I fucking
You
love
know
black
who
people.
tends not to like black people? Africans.
That's true.
Like hate black Americans for some reason. I don't know. Yeah.
I have a lot of African fans who reach out to me from Kenya and Malawi and Zimbabwe and all these things, and they're like really like they're pretty woke, but not fake woke. Like they're like woke, like real woke. Like they know what's up. Like they're like, yo, Trump rocks, and like they know what's up.
So have you met the man yet? You've been impersonating this guy for a long time. Have you met the guy?
I met Trump in November 2015, and knock on wood, I might meet him in 3 days again.
Oh, so by the time this comes out, you will have it's Schrodinger's Trump. You've either met him or not met him by
Yes.
this point.
So you are genuinely like a big Trump fan. Like you love the guy.
He's great. I mean, what's not to love?
Well, Gerard will have some things.
Man, look, he's an imperfect messenger, but I tell you what, the more the regime pushes against him, the more I end up on his side. And I got to tell you, I've been Team DeSantis from the beginning. I think he's done a great job with Florida, but he's not actively running for president right now. I think they're sitting on the sidelines waiting for the Democrats to like get rid of Trump so he can kind of slide in. And that
I agree.
I don't, that's not
like
really
that?
it's not a noble position to take.
I'm kind of like I don't love either of the presidents or the current or whatever. You know what I mean? I feel I like Trump more than I like Biden. I feel like, and I don't hate Biden. I just feel like he's pretty incompetent. Just
Sure.
like part of the system. And there's more of the same bullshit. And like,
Well, I mean,
It's hard to hate a guy who's like barely hanging on to
what I'm
life.
saying,
It's like
like,
going to a
like-
hospice. I hate that guy.
yeah.
Well, listen, man. I mean, listen. I'm going to keep it real. All right. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. In my family, half my family's Democrat. Here's the thing. All right. At what point is enough enough? Because the whole point, all I heard from people about Trump for 4 years is that we need to restore dignity. That no president should act this way. We need to restore dignity. And there was nobody topless in the White House when he was there. There was no coke in the White House when he was there. We didn't spend $9 trillion and not do a damn thing in America. And now, the thing I hate most about these guys is the lies. This whole Bidenomics PR campaign that they're doing right now. It's like inflation's down for 11 straight months. Yeah, and it's still up 200% from when you took office. I mean, imagine the audacity of somebody being like, you haven't been punched in the face for 11 straight months. Yeah, it was you. You were the one punching me in the face for the 3 years before that. Yeah. I'm supposed to thank you for not punching me in the face? This is insanity. So,
Come on, man.
What I really do dream about, I dream about pure populism. I want to see the system blow up. I want the Democrat-Republican duopoly gone. I want Trump and RFK to join forces and blow this thing up.
I would love that too.
I'll
want it
take you
blown
out
up.
behind the schoolyard, Gerard. Hey,
Come on, man.
hairy legs. And I'm not. Hey, listen, I'm not kidding. I want to suck your. I mean, huh? What? We got Blow in the White House. He'll go from like whispering, like, I don't know what's going, to like, we gotta get up.
And what's
We
crazy?
gotta stand up.
What's crazy is Kamala's even worse. Did you see Kamala
Oh.
trying to explain AI?
Jesus Christ.
She's the AI czar. They put her in control of AI.
That's who I fucking Kamala. I legitimately fucking hate Kamala.
I'm not
Try to pull this up if you can, Christian. She is trying. She's like somebody who very clearly didn't read the book, trying to give a book report. She's the country's lead
They say
on
she's
AI.
an alcoholic.
Oh, she has to be. And dude, she literally blew her way to the top. Like
I heard
it's
she
100%
made her
known.
career locking up a lot of black people too.
Yeah, well,
Right.
that's the craziest thing. She laughed about it. She was like, I used to smoke weed, and then I'd put people away forever for weed. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's the
Yeah.
hypocrisy in that. And hypocrisy is the issue we have with all this
That's it.
fucking
I'm
shit.
pulling up
That's
the
it.
AI thing
Also-
or her blowing.
Yeah, pull up the AI thing. For anybody that wants to know about Kamala, just look up Willie Brown. It's well known.
Also-
but watch this. If you haven't seen this, watch this, because this is, again, this is our country's lead. Pull it up if you
I
can.
don't even. I really have trouble watching her.
What?
Your child has diabetes.
Nice.
The most accurate
So it's
CGM.
definitely my YouTube that we're pulling this up on. So
Gerard doesn't even have a kid. And he's worried about his kid's diabetes.
it's like, yeah, it's like my nut has high sugar. Like my nut is full of cholesterol. Like the girl, like the poor.
AI is kind of a fancy thing. It's first of all, it's 2 letters. It means artificial intelligence, but ultimately, what it is.
She seems to have a
not
grasp on it.
And so the machine is taught. And part of the issue here is what information is going into the machine. That will then determine, and we can predict then, if we think about what machine,
If
what
we
information
just,
is going
if you
in,
think it, you can
what
dream
then
it. If you can dream it,
will
you can be
produced
it.
in terms of decisions and opinions that may be made through that process.
That's enough of that.
So
All right.
to reduce it down.
So that's what AI is. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah.
So AI is
She
like this really
sounds
complicated
not
thing.
smart.
It's actually just 2 letters. It's artificial intelligence.
Wow.
USA, USA.
3 letters. It stands for United States and America.
Oh, snap! They've been lying to us the whole time. It's actually U.S. of A. This is nonsense. Tear it down.
How much, pussycat? How much?
So let's give you some new. We need some new characters. We can't have you being Trump forever here, Bo. We need an Andrew
Speaking
Tate.
of characters,
I haven't seen an Andrew. That's got to be a tough one. Andrew Tate comes in and out of a British
that's gotta
accent.
be a good. That's
Can you
gotta
be
be one.
G? Can we
I
get,
got,
can we get a G
Top G.
impression?
Top G.
Or top G.
He was like, I was just watching him before this. He's like, I would never. I can't. I got to work on him.
How long does it take
I'm
you to
working on a
get
Tucker
into a
Carlson.
character?
That's my Tucker Carlson. That's my Tucker. Tucker's laugh.
That was great. Yeah.
But I don't know, Andrew Tate. Everybody thinks he's so profound, and it's like, oh, he's saying shit that 20 years ago is just how everyone thought.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
a generation grew up without a father or an uncle. We were talking about this on the way in, and it's like Jordan Peterson got so popular. He's like, you know what you should do? You should. I'm not going to do any voices while he's here. You know what you should do? Jordan Peterson wrote a whole book that says, clean your room, make your bed, be a man. And everybody's like, this fucking guy's unbelievable.
Jordan Peterson kind of sounds like Kermit the Frog a little
bit
right?
like
a
Canadian Kermit. Yeah, totally.
All right.
I feel like these guys are so appealing to like men who don't get laid, like guys who just don't get any ass, and they hear these guys be like, and women and da-da-da-da, and it's like, they're like, yeah, but then they still don't get laid. It's like Get Rich Quick. How many people who watch all the Get Rich Quick guys actually get rich?
Nah, I got to disagree with you on that one, bro. I don't think it's guys that don't get laid. I think that might be a part of it, but I think a bigger part of it is men who are living what they were taught to live as a noble life as a man, that then society turned around and said everything that you did is toxic, everything that you do is wrong. There's an entire generation of men that, we were brought up to be competitive. We were brought up to be strong. We were brought up to be, like tough and have worth, like this idea, like, as a man, you're not just born worthy. You have to become worthy. You have to do something to gain respect and earn respect. And then the generations underneath us, you're a little younger than us, but the generations underneath me, it became a no, everybody gets a trophy type shit. Doesn't matter.
How old are you, Scoop?
31.
Oh, all right.
So the same age as Mick. So the idea, I think it appealed to a lot of people, especially like me, that were like, there's nothing wrong with being competitive. There's, and it was never being said in the media. The fact that these guys were coming out and saying it was powerful because nobody else had the balls to say it at the time, and except for people like me, who then they cut us off at the knees. Oh, wait, you think it's okay to be a man? 24-day ban on Facebook, no more monetization. So those guys really stood out, especially Jordan Peterson in academia. Jordan Peterson was saying it in a place where nobody else was saying it. So that, when he refused to do the transgender stuff, he was the first and only guy, and he got so much pushback, you couldn't help but root for the guy. So there's a lot of what you're saying I do agree with, where they're being treated as these profound thinkers when all they've been saying is everything our grandfathers told us.
Right.
But at the same time, they have been standing up in the face. They've been the tip of the spear of the culture war, and they do deserve, I feel like, credit for that.
And I feel like that's the reason why they were taken out, because they're like telling men to actually act like men and stuff, and they were taken out. Like, Alex Jones was the first one, but then Tate was like, all the companies colluded together and took him off everything. But then he had such a strong fan base that his fans would post clips on TikTok and YouTube Reels and Instagram. So he just kept, it's like by sheer volume of fans wanting to spread the message. So it's like no matter how much the powers that be want to cut off the head of the dragon, could still find a way.
It's not over. It's still happening. So, I mean, Rogan just posted this the other day, if you can, Christian, that getting in shape, working out, people that are into weightlifting specifically are like alt-right right-wingers, like how the far right wing took over, the gym is
being
essentially
healthy?
more or less, and that's what Rogan said. He's like, so like being, I think to your point, I think Rogan's quote was, okay, so being healthy is right wing. And it's gotten out of control. So like so now if you want to improve yourself in any way, physically, mentally, financially, you're a right wing extremist.
Yeah, they must think that it's like vain or something. Like that's the only thing I could imagine there being like, or them being like, we're intellectuals.
It's so much deeper than that.
You know what I mean? That's the only thing I could imagine. But what do you think?
Well, I personally, like lately I've gotten more and more into the whole God thing, And so I think the devil's real too. And I think the devil, through like fucking music and all this other shit, is trying to poison every little bit of society. It's like, for instance, with the gender thing. There's like, oh, there's no boys, there's no girls, da 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 da. When you get rid of the idea of men and women, society crumbles. Like historically, Rome, ancient, all this shit.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, so that's
they're
what I think.
They're definitely, whoever they are, they're definitely going after like the pillars our society is built on.
It's like to tell you what your eyes are seeing is a lie, because then they can make their lies kind of trick you a little easier.
Yeah.
If they're telling you what you're like, that's a man, woman, what, you know what I mean? Like
at the end of the
day, like, oh no, now you gotta fucking no, not no more.
What's more powerful than that? That's the true power. Orwell talked about that. When they can get you to know what you're seeing is a lie, it's a lie.
Yeah.
But still go along with the lie anyway, then they got you.
Yeah.
Then they have total and complete power over you. You know they're lying. They know that you know that they're lying.
Yeah.
And still you go along with the lie.
About it. Yeah.
That's if you're addicted to power, if you are a power hungry, if you're one of these power hungry monsters that wants to take over the world, what's the achievement? What's the higher achievement than that?
Right. And I also think the World Economic Forum, when they talk about social credit score and chips in your brain and limiting how much coffee you drink and having to like put in a log,
animal proteins,
how much you drive, it's like, dude, these people, and most Americans don't even know about the World Economic Forum. Even like,
well, if they listen to this podcast, they do.
Yeah, USA.
Gerard loves to talk about how much he hates the fucking NGOs and World Economic Forum.
I mean, it's just Gerard hates evil.
Yeah.
Gerard, that's a t-shirt.
That's a t-shirt.
Gerard hates evil. There you go.
Gerard hates
Merch.
evil.
That's capitalism, baby.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, maybe.
Speaking of,
Ben, maybe that's the podcast thing. Gerard versus evil. Yeah, that's way better.
I like that.
That's cool.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, Scoop, you get no credit. None.
Take it.
EP Scoop.
Take it. I just want to spread the light, baby.
Well, so NGOs are non-government organizations.
That's right.
What are the stuff they put in food? Now I'm forgetting.
GMOs. Yeah, GMOs.
All right.
Now GMOs.
I hate them.
Well, GMOs.
I hate GMOs.
So GMOs are nefarious,
Sounds
man,
racist.
because there's some. So like, it's such a huge thing, the GMOs, because like.
If you say you hate anything,
I hate them GMOs.
Well, we just posted something today, and and the clip is so our editor is in India. Sagar is a great guy, but it obviously doesn't have the same cultural awareness that we have. So he clipped this thing, and the first thing I say, it's on Slick and Thick right now. It has to get taken down, and it's like, I hate NGOs, and the way it's said is like, wait, what? What did this dude just say? Like, no, love them. No, but the NGOs are really, really bad, really bad. NGOs are just, it's what people call the Illuminati. That's what they are. And the GMOs are bad because they hide really evil shit behind useful stuff. So, like a seedless watermelon is technically a GMO. That's a genetically modified organism, right? You're like, wow, that's good. All right, seedless watermelon, great. But then a GMO is also water that turns the frogs gay.
Yeah, and and also like, so I was just in Colombia. I was eating like beef like every day. From any place, it's grass fed, the way like it should be, the healthy way that it should be. You love that?
I just want to say one thing. Everybody that I've spoken to in the last year who's been out of the country, they all say that.
Yes. Well, you know, it's like we have like money so tied up in food that we're like willing to poison our future generations and our children to save a fucking buck. You know what I mean? Because you could put some fucking steroids or antibiotics in the shit. Make sure you're getting, 100% of your stuff, but you're feeding us garbage.
And it's going to get worse because China and Bill Gates own all our farms now.
Bro, one day, and I'm a very healthy, very clean eater. I ate two double cheeseburgers. That was what I ate that day. I had 2 double cheeseburgers because it's all grass. I felt great. 2 double hamburguesa.
Wait, so is that a bad thing to eat?
Yeah, you're not supposed to eat double cheese. Like if you get one from McDonald's, it's full. It's crap. You're gonna feel like garbage. It's not good for you.
Write that down for me, Ben. I gotta remember that.
I gotta take that one step further. Those hormones in the foods are making the kids go through puberty at like 6. And then kids, they're like out there like fucking, and it's like it all goes back to the destruction of society. Little kids are losing their innocence.
For the sake of the censors,
crazy. They're getting molested and shit.
For the sake of the censors, this is all allegedly. This is all things we've read and heard.
This is all hypothetical.
I tell you what's
Why do you say that? What do you mean?
Because when we do things like this, the censors, the evil fucking censors can say that we're making declarative statements without any like research behind it, and they'll take our shit down.
Yeah, these are not
we've
facts.
Done research. We've done research.
I'll tell you like a fact that's 100%. That's to your point, but now they'll say it's anecdotal, but it's 100% fact. My sister was in Italy for 6 months. She ate pasta every day, drank
People lose
wine.
weight eating
she
carbs
came
out
back 20 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
If I had the lasagna with you last night, I am 15 pounds heavier today. I ate 2 pounds of lasagna and I'm 15 pounds heavier. I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
But but I'm telling you, she was out
there.
there.
Man. That's what people talk about all the time. I was in Italy eating pasta for weeks and they come back better.
Emily.
People are talking about it in Colombia too. Like they go out there and they're eating fries and they're eating rice and they're eating beans, they're eating all the meats and all that shit, and they come back.
Well, the nutrient dense. You were saying that's all you ate, and you weren't even hungry the rest of the day. And you're like a guy. People that don't know, you eat clean, but you eat like 4,000, 5,000 calories.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's there. It becomes daunting, right? It becomes daunting to think about this shit because what the fuck are you gonna do? Now what do we have to do? We have to turn off all social media. We gotta make our own farms. We gotta cull our own chicken. Like what the hell are we like? What are we doing here?
Yeah, that's something I'd like to see from the government. Is like
if we're gonna spend this money,
if we have what is it for? Just to fucking bang you out with taxes and feed you bullshit?
Bingo.
No, they're supposed to be taking care of you, making our life better. We're using the research for good, not for how to save money and make money.
Amen. But the thing is, I just don't think they're on our side. They're just not on our side. There's nobody that would disagree with that. Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Communist. There is nobody that would say, "Hey, these companies should not be poisoning us for profit."
Yeah. Scoop, I'm glad you put your glasses back on. Gerard was hoping I left mine in Colombia. He doesn't like the. I'm already a pretty confident guy, but he doesn't like how it just ups the confidence.
No, I think he looks fantastic. You bring the glasses whenever you want. I'm glad you left the Uber Mick character behind.
He's still here.
Uber Mick.
Yeah, I do have another tale from Uber Mick. And by the way, speaking of glasses, these are the ones I'm wearing. They're Nevin sunglasses. They're awesome.
They do look dope.
I'm gonna hook you up with some, and I'm gonna hook our boys up over there. Look at these guys over there. That's right, bro. Do you feel a little left out?
I like these guys.
Gee, I gave you Nevin sunglasses.
And they looked great. And it's like a mind virus. What's happening
My
here?
boy.
What's going on? Listen, every time I look, there's another Mick.
Well, listen. I do have another. Remember, I've told this story about getting stopped at the restaurants and the waitresses coming up asking if I'm a model and this and that. Like yesterday, I'm on my plane coming back from Colombia, right? Falling asleep. Doing the whole head jerky thing. Get up to use the bathroom, right? And I'm standing in the back stretching a little bit, and the flight attendant's like, "Hey, the flight attendant is calling you." I was like, "Why?" Am I in trouble? Like, what's going on? He's like, I don't know. He's calling you. So I go up and I'm like, hey, and he's like, hey, can I help you with anything? And I was like, no, I thought you were looking for me. He goes, we're all looking at you, Papi. Ooh. And I go, for a second, I go, why? I'm like, why? And then I'm like, oh, I get it. Because I have a really good IQ and like I process things very quickly. But like, it did still take me by surprise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, we're all looking at you, Papi. And I was like, why? Oh, yeah, I get it.
Fucking love this guy, man.
Super Mick. Hey, you know what the real problem with that whole story is? It's 100% true.
Yeah.
That's the real problem with that
I never
story.
doubted it.
No, the girl in the seat behind me tapped me on the back. Was like, hey, could you give me your Instagram?
Yeah. It's
a gift and a curse, guys.
Yeah.
It's a gift and a curse.
I'll lay in bed and watch my own Instagram stories for an hour.
Yeah, I've been trying to get better at Instagram because you've been telling me. I've been trying to post more regularly.
Yeah, you should. You should. Yeah.
It's not my instinct at all to use Instagram to be posting and doing the fucking be like, let me stop my day and clink, clink, clink. Here we are at Podcast Junkies Sup.
Yeah, I've actually I farmed it out. I don't even do it. I give it to people to post. Like when people are arguing with me in the comments, I'm like, I hate to tell you, but I didn't put that up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're arguing with Sagar.
I gotta fucking hire someone in India.
You're doing it all yourself?
Yeah, man.
You got a really good one. So, and what's the Instagram for the people so they can watch some of your stuff like I do?
Jason Scoop, guys. You got to check it out.
It's just too much of a time suck, man. If you go in there and you got to post it to 4 different platforms, and then you're gonna, to do the algorithm, you're supposed to argue with people or whatever, or it's just too much. And who has that time? Then you're not doing anything else.
Yeah.
And I've been doing. The only money I'm making these days is options trading, and I'm addicted to it. I'm absolutely addicted.
Hey, you gotta teach me about that shit.
I can teach you about that stuff for money.
I got you. I got you.
I got you, brother. So what do you think is like optimal for a performer here? Let me go back to the question before. Actually, do you feel like being an impressionist helps you or hurts you as a comedian? Do you feel more like an actor or a comedian? Do you feel like you're stuck in a role?
I think it helps me because, when I started, people kind of looked down on impressionists, but then I started to, I was always funny and I was good at writing stand-up jokes, but I think the key is tying the impression into a well-written joke as opposed to just
a gimmick,
relying on the impression. Like, this is Christopher Walken ordering KFC. Wow, look at the chicken. It's like, that's not, that's a cheat code.
But give the people what they want, though. That's pretty funny.
Though. It's funny as hell.
That's pretty funny.
But like, for instance, I do Trump. Everybody does Trump jokes, but I met the guy. So it's like, tell the story about meeting him. Yeah. And I show him the tattoo, and he's like, I gotta win for this kid. And, he yelled at me at one point, and he's like, come here. We left, we're in front of all the cameras, and he looks at me, and he's like, get the book. So I was like, Donald, I'm sorry, buddy. I ran back, I gave him the book. He's like, this kid is strong. He's fierce. He's tough. And I'm like, holy fuck. It was amazing. And I do, with Biden, I have a joke where it's like he's mixes two things that don't go together, senile and woke. You got to pick one. You either senile or you woke. Stop. Like, what are we doing here? He's reading off a sheet. I support the L, the B, the excuse me, the T. Matter of fact, I am gay. Kamala is too. And then I'm like, he should hire Cat Williams as his press secretary. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The president is not sleepy. He just has a Benadryl prescription. And female reporters, I only call you bitches because I don't know your names individually. I done broke the microphone stand because of racism.
Hey, this
is a racist microphone stand.
Thanks, Ben.
Good job, Ben.
Hey, Ben, while you're down there, do you want to take a darce or?
Yo, Ben is like a star in my gym now. I was just telling him today. Everybody was in there. Everybody loves Ben.
Did you see that?
Everybody loves Ben.
He choked him out all the way out.
Really?
Lights off.
Yeah, and Gerard during the whole thing is like, first Gerard's telling him to tap. I would have had to violate that agreement. I was not gonna. It didn't matter if he tapped. We were choking him out. He asked to be choked out. He gets choked out. And then when he's asleep, you're like, he's awake. He's awake.
Nope. I saw his eye open up and
This
then it went
guy
back
is so
out.
fucking cool, man. I love both of you.
No.
I love, but you know I love you.
Slick Mick
How
the
many
ruler.
times have I told you I love you?
Yeah.
But this is a cool
Enough to get you on the show.
This is a cool ass crew.
Yeah, dude, it's we
Cut
love
it.
it, man. Yeah, cut it, put it on. I mean, we shouted them out before, but it was really cool. You know, I'm such a big fan of the Drinking Bros, man, and they shouted us out the other day in front of their audience, which was dope, man. Look, I think we got a cool thing here, man, and having awesome people like you be a part of it is what we do it for.
It's great vibes.
I mean, this is the idea behind it. Even though you were on,
Yeah, let's go on vacation together, guys.
yeah, to Colombia.
It's like that scene in Anchorman. He's like, I miss you, Ron. I miss your smell. I miss your musk.
We just become best friends.
He goes, we should get an apartment together. And he's like, hey, just cool it. He's like,
Yeah, dude.
What's that about us supposed to be together? That type of shit will make us not want us to meet each other.
Dear Mr. I'm too, but here, this is the real cool thing about having a pod. Even though you were on TV, you were on Dana Carvey's show, and
Yeah,
right?
I won the Dana Carvey show. I won 10 grand. TV is not even like. I swear to God, the internet is bigger than TV these days.
For sure.
Yeah.
Look at Tucker. Look at the numbers Tucker's doing. But they won't. They won't put a guy like you on, unfortunately, right? Because you're not the right narrative. You're not saying the
I'm
right
not
things.
the right narrative.
Our $10,000
Freddie Prinze
prize
Jr.
is Jason Scoop.
The best part about winning is the fact that the crowd appreciated what I did and gave me that vote.
You don't believe that.
very nice.
You
No,
needed that 10 grand
I hate
so
watching
bad.
myself. I did.
What do I think sealed the deal? I don't know. It could have been a number of things.
And I was so dumb. I spent it in like 2 weeks.
Maybe it was Trump.
What's up?
I spent 10 grand in 2 fucking weeks. I swear to God.
What did on New York rent?
When was this?
That was 2016. That was when Trump was running. Yeah, no, I spent it on and nothing tangible, just like booze and cabs.
Yeah.
And like a
Booze
few
and
hotel
cabs.
rooms.
Good times.
I was like, let's stay
Sounds like
here.
you had
Let's stay.
some
I'd be
fun.
like, I met a girl. I'm like, let's stay at the what is that Plaza Hotel?
Could have bought a car.
I know. I could have bought a car. I could have invested it. I could have bought at least one.
You know.
Literally,
I think there's gonna be more money in your future, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna be all right. You
things
know
are
what I
going
mean?
well.
It's all right.
Hashtag blessed. Life is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I might meet that mother effer again in 3 days, man. This has been like my dream. I'm like, I gotta meet him. I'm gonna meet him. I keep meeting people around him. I met his press secretary, his immigration secretary. I met all these Giuliani I met and all these people, and they're like, man, I know the guy well. He's like, you sound just like him. And I just keep getting closer and closer and closer, and then it's kind of like a fate thing. I think you could direct things by just being positive. I'm sure we've all done it. We've all sort of manifested shit.
That's just real. If you put belief and like you really like kind of think on it, like and take action towards it,
Yeah.
like you're out there doing this, making noise. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all lining up.
Yeah, Rashad Evans.
Is he
called
your
us
favorite?
our
Is he your favorite?
spell book.
What?
Rashad Evans called it writing your stuff down, manifesting. He said, write your spells in your spell book.
Right.
Yeah.
Is he your favorite impression to do, Trump?
I mean, Cat Williams is kind of my favorite. Like,
Yeah.
You do a great Bill Burr, too. Bill Burr is great.
And he did.
It's like I do Burr, all right? I'm sick of pedophiles, you know? Now, they're like on every channel. It's like I get it, all right? There's people out there touching kids, but it's like a small percentage of the population. Not because I love kids. You know, I like to make faces at them on the airplane. Nowadays, you see a kid, it's like, get that thing the fuck away from me, all right? I got my hands in the air. I'm not aroused, you know? It's like you can't even be a fucking person anymore because of all the pedophiles on, like, Dateline, you know? That guy, Chris Hansen, sit down. It's always like an Indian cripple. He's like, I just wanted to have a friend.
I just said a name.
I know you just said a name. Yo, how about at the bar? You fucking killed us after
yeah.
the show doing the Sebastian one.
Are you talking about my Italian immigrant father? Have you, is these guys, we call them slick and thick? Have you heard about this? One guy's a little heavier, and the other guy's totally ripped, and he's on the airplane, and all the LGBTQ flight attendants are checking him out, and he's hot, and he knows it, but he's not even intimidating because he's so cool, and guys who get intimidated are, like, pathetic, but if you don't get intimidated, that makes you more confident, and then you go out, and then the girl fucking hits you up because for some reason, because I don't even know what I'm saying, but
Jesus
it's like,
Christ,
I love you guys!
This is Scoop sober. This is
this is
Scoop
me.
sober.
This is me sober.
Do you dream in other people's voices?
No.
You don't. Can you imagine how cool it would have been to play like G.I. Joes with this guy
think
growing
about
up?
that.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah, you play every
Actually,
character.
yes, I have dreamt that I was doing impressions. I've dreamt. So
Did you? Is there any like more like obscure ones that like you love doing, but like isn't as like?
good question.
well, I still every now and again imitate Daryl Hammond
Doing Regis Philbin. It's like he's been dead for 10 years, but he's still funny.
He's like, I don't know. So that's one. I don't know who.
How long does it take you to capture the essence?
Yeah,
of,
like you
of
said,
somebody?
like today you said you couldn't really do your Andrew Tate, but how long would you think it would take you to get that down? Or is there like some you can, some it just doesn't work?
And as soon as you get the Andrew Tate down, we have a guy lit in Vassell that you need to call out on a fight.
Some come right away. Some come right away. Like
Sounds like a bad idea.
Well, he doesn't know it's a bad idea.
some come right away. Like the first time I tried, Quentin Tarantino. Okay, because I can't make a movie without Samuel L. Jackson in it. I mean, like I've tried. I can't. Listen, Conan. I can't do it. Okay, like I had Uma Thurman. Okay, and her feet. I'm writing a movie starring Uma Thurman, but it's just her feet. You see, the feet are in love. You got the right foot and the left foot. Okay,
Book the foot, Narducci.
Right.
Book
And
the
it's gonna
foot.
be- It's going to be narrated by Samuel L. Jackson. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great.
You got a Nick Cage in there. I feel like Nick Cage would be a bullseye for you.
That's a good. Hang on. That's a good question. He's on my list because I recently. I like Nick Cage as a kid, and then I just went like 20 years without watching a Nick Cage movie, and then I recently watched the movie. What is it called? A Bad Lieutenant. Port of Call, New Orleans, and I swear to God, I watched it 15 times in like a week. It was that good. He plays this like coke addicted cop.
I've seen that.
What
I've
is it
seen
called?
that. Yeah,
What
that
is it
was
called?
pretty good.
Dude, he like pulls
What's
over.
it called?
Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah.
Port of Call, New Orleans.
Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah, it's not bad. Well, did you see the new one with
It's
Pablo?
not bad. It's amazing.
Yeah, the one he just did with the incredible weight of massive talent, the immense. What's the movie? Shit, it was great. It was a great movie. The immeasurable weight of massive talent, or something like that. I don't.
Gotta check that shit out. I love Nick Cage.
Oh, it's Nick Cage playing Nick Cage, and somehow it's the most Nick Cage you've ever Nick Caged. It's incredible. It's really very funny. What about in the MMA world? You got a Conor McGregor for us?
Nah, man. I'm not. I've never been a big sports guy. Like I was always insecure about that, but now I'm not really insecure about anything. There's always everybody has some.
You were
sort of
insecure
insecurity.
about not being a sports guy?
not being into sports because I always thought that everybody would just think I was gay.
Well, it didn't stop you from bleaching your hair coming down the south.
Nah, dude, the bleach look is in.
I like the bleach.
It looks good.
I like
The bleach
It looks
look
good.
is so in, and it
looks good.
alters your personality. When you
Oh, is
change
that
your
right?
hair, you become a.
Are
Little,
you Tyler Durden now?
I don't know. I want like a little Machine Gun Kelly vibe.
Oh.
With like and like lick Chloe.
No, the chicks love Machine Gun Kelly, bro. They love her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they think their dads would hate them.
You think that that's the appeal?
I don't know.
You think the
Probably.
appeal? What's the appeal of Machine Gun Kelly?
I don't know.
Hey, Cleveland guy. What's the appeal of Machine Gun
This
Kelly?
guy don't like him.
Doesn't like
You
him?
player hating? Come on, dog. You player hating? Shaking his head yes a little bit. Yeah.
Hate is a
you're
terrible
like 50,
emotion.
You know what I
can't-
mean?
Is he
can't
50?
hate.
No, but you know.
How old's Machine? He can't be 50. How old's Machine Gun Kelly? He pulled Megan Fox. Megan Fox is a top 5, right? Top 5 dead or alive?
He's 33.
He's 33 and you thought that was 50? Fucking kill yourself, Christian.
Christian, how old are you?
26.
26. Oh,
He's
I thought you
closer
were-
to you than
I thought you were
50.
younger. I love like really young people, like 20-year-olds.
What?
Yeah, like 20-year-olds are great. But my last day job, I was working with a bunch of 20-year-olds, and I remember when I was 20, guys my age were like haters or like they were like jealous or whatever. But I was like, I hope when I get to 31, I'm not jealous of a 20-year-old. And I didn't get that gene, man. I'm like kids and really old people.
Yeah, I thought I'd be like dead by now. Like the way everybody 35 was like, oh my God, once you get to 30, everything hurt. Like
30's great.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Right.
Like I have no idea what happened to these people or like what they were doing in their life to make 35
They make it seem like
it's over.
Y2K.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's just every day is a new thing. Like, I wake up in the morning and my hamstring. It's like, bro, you're fine. It's wild.
Yeah.
Although I do scream in my sleep at times because my knee hurts and I wake up twice a night to piss. But otherwise, it's fine. You know.
That just means you're hydrated.
Yeah,
It's a
you
good
know.
thing.
I will say, once you reach 35, there is no peeing without a hand on the wall anymore. You do. I never understood. I never understood.
Period?
Yeah, there's just none of it.
I have to do that if I wake up with like some morning wood.
Yeah, you got to give the lean.
Because you gotta like if you're pointing straight up, you gotta like adjust
You got to give
your,
the lean
your dimension.
Man. Yeah, well, that's
You know
I'm telling you. I used to go to like the games, and I would see these adults with like two hands on the porcelain and Giant Stadium. I'd be like, how disgusting.
When in
are
doubt,
you?
just go piss in the shower. You know what I mean? It's a giant toilet.
Yeah, I we've talked about this before, and it happened to me again this weekend. Like, man, I get a couple beers in me, and I just see a sink, and I'm like, that one right there. Yeah. That's the one. That's the one.
I've been doing that for years.
Sink.
Yeah,
Something about it.
I love taking
sober.
a piss in the sink.
Sober, I'm like, what are you, a mongrel? What are you, an animal? What are you, a barnyard animal?
Wish
But
I could say the same.
you get a couple of hops in your
Yes,
system.
I'm a mongrel animal.
You're a mongrel animal.
I am.
Yeah, you are. You're like a semi-trained Rottweiler.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like a house. You're like the first of the house dogs.
He's an ape.
Yeah, just still got a little wolf in me.
Yeah. That is one thing. For all the things we talk about have gotten worse and worse and worse, the one thing that's gotten way better is the way humans treat pets. I remember my grandfather getting so angry with my mother that our dog lived inside. Like, what, you're gonna get fleas everywhere. What is this, mutt inside?
Yeah.
Now, do you know anybody who has a doghouse?
A doghouse, yeah. No,
Do you have anybody whose dog lives outside?
Dogs sleep in the bed for the most part. I feel like.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you guys ever seen a wild dog?
Yes.
No.
Frightening.
A wild
They're
dog?
like rats.
Yeah, like a street dog.
When I was in Trinidad, there were these anorexic-looking dogs, and they all, you know how rats like can go into a little hole? They went under the house into this little hole, and they just sank down there. I'm like, yo, these dogs are like rats.
Nah, you're talking to the wrong guy. I just tried to get a cop lynched on Monday's show because he shot a golden retriever. So
that's not a bad reason.
Yeah, this is unbelievable, and nothing's happened to this guy.
I'm not bashing.
I gave it 25 awkward minutes. David and Bill, these poor guys that came all the way here, they're like, I can't wait to be a part of it.
What'd you guys think of the David and Bill episode? How'd they do? A thumb up and a little bit of a head.
It was pretty good, I'd say. They drank all the brutes.
They were fun.
Yeah, they drank all my fucking brute seltzers.
You got big shoes to fill, Mick. You got big shoes to fill, you know?
All of them, huh?
My favorite part of the episode, for sure, my favorite part of the episode was watching Bill calculate whether or not answering was worth ruining his career.
Really?
That was my favorite part. He would like go to jump in on something and be like,
I love cops.
That's every Slick and Thick episode. That's every episode he's on.
Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch. This is Gas Digital, baby. We let it fly around here. This is the home of Legion of Skanks, man. We're not tiptoeing through the tulips out here. Cop kills a golden retriever. Put that motherfucker's head on the spike. That's all I'm saying.
Well, why'd he kill it? Was it attacking
it was hard. No, I don't want to go back over it. It was hard. It was horrid.
There's movies that I haven't seen. Like I've never seen I Am Legend because I know he kills his dog in it. So I'm like, I'm good.
John Wick.
Super sad.
Yeah, John Wick. That one snuck up on me, and I had a beagle.
Yeah.
Oh
wow.
So like,
well, we talked about it in the episode, and we're like, the only thing that justified this guy murdering 60 strangers was the fact that one of them killed a dog.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, kill the whole family. Go for it.
Take them all out.
Gotta go.
Take them all out.
They gotta go. And Scoop's over here going, I hate dogs.
No, I don't hate dogs.
I hate sports and I hate dogs, but I love Slick and Thick.
Right. No, I don't hate.
And he loves cops.
I love cops and criminals.
I do too.
I don't feel like cops hate criminals. I feel like cops and criminals
weirdly respect each other.
They really do. They almost look at each other like two opposite ends of like the way MMA fighters look at somebody. You might talk a little shit, but at the end of the day, respect.
It's like the Giants and the Cowboys.
The only thing
we're on different teams, but
the only thing I've ever seen a cop and a criminal agree on.
Those were football teams, by the way.
They both don't like cops who play both sides. That's the only thing they really agree on. Like, be a criminal or be a cop.
Right.
Don't be a cop who's a criminal.
Yeah.
That's their, their code of honor in some ways.
Yeah, it's cheating.
Yeah. Anyway, Yeah, I think Officer Perello was a little upset when we were like, "So your family's mobbed up, right?" No. Who told you that? Our producer.
Your son.
I do think it's interesting when you hear older cops talk about how the game has changed, and they were like, we could just let people go if they weren't whatever, but now with the body cams and everything's in a computer and everything, they're like, it really made things.
Yeah, they can't have that discretion where it's like, all right, I'm gonna let the kid. I'll drive him home. I don't need to ruin his fucking life for the next 2 years. Give him a DUI, whatever. You know. And
I'm not one of these guys that's like, I could do the job better. I would be a horrible cop. I would be the world's worst cop.
Why?
Siren would always be. Woo!
Like you'd be really taking advantage of those free Dunkin' Donuts and those free hot dogs.
I would pull people over.
Hey, we got a stakeout. I need a steak for a stakeout. Yeah, no, I would be like playing judge and jury, like right there. Yeah. I don't think I'd be good if like I knew somebody was doing something and they keep getting off on it. I probably would. I don't.
Be like a vigilante.
Yeah, and then also like I would never pull anybody. Like I can't do like hypocrisy is my number one thing, man. Like
Same.
I can't drive 90 miles an hour and then pull somebody over for driving 90. I can't. I hate bureaucracy more than anything else, and also, frankly.
You hate bureaucracy or hypocrisy more?
To me, every bureaucrat is a hypocrite. I hate them both almost
That's
equally.
so fucking true.
Also.
Yeah, and I would say, from a personal perspective, I'm too moody. I would have a bad day, and
you take it out on the people.
Probably. I'd like to think I wouldn't, but I almost definitely would.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not built like our buddy Nick. I think has the perfect personality for it. Just shit rolls off his shoulders. He don't care. You know, he's like, whatever, it is what it is. Like, that's a great personality for somebody in that role. Like, I'm too competitive. You know, I'd be one of those dickheads that's like, I would have let you go, but then you had to curse me off.
Yeah.
So now guess what?
He'd take out that baton, and then a lot of Wendy's would be on
Judge,
fire.
jury, and executioner.
Yeah.
A lot of Walmarts emptied out. Targets.
Yeah.
Woo.
But I tell you what, I wouldn't be out there shooting people. I would be one of these like mutual combat guys. It's like, all right, here you go. You want to get let loose? Here's your chance.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what the old guys said they did.
Back
in the day,
and it was better.
Pre-body cam,
and it
I
was
agree.
better.
Yeah.
It was better.
Yeah.
We got rough. When I was a kid, we got roughed up one night, and we deserved it.
What happened?
We were smoking weed. I was like 15 at the time, and the guy I was with, his brother was a real scumbag, and like he was known to be a scumbag, and like we had our shirts off, and the cop came over, and like cop ended up being a great guy. He was like, you know, you could smell it a mile away. He gave everybody a hard time. Finally, you know, he sat us down on the curb and acted like we were going to get arrested and all this other stuff. And the one kid's brother started really getting real mouthy with him. And he took it was like a joint, and he threw it down the sewer. And the kid started getting like really super mouthy with him about that. And the cop was like, "You want to go to jail? You want?" And he's like, "You're only saying this shit because you got a gun. I'll fuck you up, this and that." So the cop said, "All right, bet." Took the took the cuffs off, and they had a little scrap.
Woo!
And old boy put it to him. You know,
Good.
but I ended up meeting that cop years later. Cop,
respect.
He put his arm around me, man, and walked me away. And was like, you know, gave me the whole like Saturday morning cartoon speech, like, "You want to be an athlete? What are you doing hanging out with these guys? This guy's a scumbag. He's this and that, blah blah blah." That part I don't really like, the whole judgmental thing.
One time we did mischief night, and we got like in trouble for it. They like put us in a cop car, and they were like, then they brought us back to like the place, and they ended up calling my dad. I was in like 6th or 7th grade. And like me and my boys were lined up like on the cop car.
Yeah.
And like we're like, fuck, like we're gonna be in trouble. And then my dad came down.
Uh-oh.
And my dad just goes, whack to my friend. Boom, just like punches me in the chest, like smack this shit out of all three of them. And the cop's just like, they're good. You can take it. They're like, yeah, I can see you're gonna handle this the discipline here.
But almost to Scoop's point, in a world with camera phones, I mean, this happened in a cul-de-sac in Old Bridge, New Jersey. In a world with camera phones, that cop goes away forever for putting the hands on,
ruined everything.
You know, put the hands on old boy, and you know, hey, look.
Ruined Kramer's career.
I think Kramer had a hand in that.
Yeah.
Kramer,
I see what he was trying to go for some shock comedy there. He didn't have the little fine tune approach. Didn't have the couth,
The nuance.
skill, the nuance. Exactly. That's
as
word
the
I was
great
looking for,
Patrice O'Neill says, you can joke about anything. Make it funny.
Make it funny.
Make it funny.
Make it fucking funny.
Don't just start
dog.
yelling slurs.
Yeah.
Arbitrary
She
slurs.
said the funniest shit. He's like, man, I wasn't mad at him until he apologized. She's like, motherfucker looked like a terrorist hostage in that video. He's like, you could have just played it off being like, I was doing some Kramer shit and took it too far. But he's like, I'm sorry to the Afro-Americans.
I remember that shit.
Hey, Jerry, I got into some trouble at the comedy club, Jerry.
That was a great part, like late 90s America, when like the woke stuff was just like starting to creep in, and the Hollywood elites were like, well, is it Black Americans? Is it African Americans? Is it Afro Americans? Like, what's the proper word here? Just please tell me. I just want to know. It's like, bro, just fucking be a human being, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Fuck. Have you ever been in public before? What's wrong with these fucking people? You know, the whispering is when you know. When somebody whispers something, that's when you know the real racist is. Like when they'll say something the whole time, they'll be normal, and then they'll whisper the word. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? No, I was just thinking too, like,
why would you whisper
remember
that?
I used to be called like the Negro Leagues?
Yeah.
Like where Jackie Robinson, a bunch of the great baseball players played.
Sure.
But that's not okay anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the
can't say.
NAACP still is that, you know, with colored
Right.
people. There's the United, was it the United
And what do you,
Negro
is that
Fund?
just like kind of wokeness, like trying to just find the most acceptable term, or
They're in a constant.
not to offend anybody?
Maybe.
Is that what they're trying to do?
The academic left is in a constant state of redefining terms for power purposes, right? So an illegal immigrant has an implication in the phrase, where an undocumented citizen has a different implication. Like one is this person's illegal, right? It's a crime. The other one is like it's a paperwork issue, right? It's an undocumented, you know, so there's power in words. They understand that. So they're constantly trying to redefine things like he's not a pedophile, he's a minor attracted person.
Fuck that.
It's insane. That's why I hated
fuck
school. I hated school as much as I hated 9/11. Like, I just hated school.
What?
Because of shit like that, dude. I fucking hated it. Like, but
He was
Like
being
as
yeah,
much
it was
as
a little bit
9/11?
of hyperbole.
a little hyperbole. I'm using a little hyperbole for
Yes.
comedic effect.
I'm prone to hyperbole for comedic effect myself,
Yeah.
and I think
I hated fucking school too, man.
As much as 9/11
Stuff
though?
you in the desk. I didn't say that. I didn't say it for.
You heard it here first. Mickey Gall says elementary school was worse than 9/11. Mickey Gall says it, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm surprised
thanks,
Mickey
Chief.
Gall didn't fuck any teachers.
How do you know he didn't?
Yeah, me too.
There's yeah.
That's fucking funny. Man, every time I see one of these teachers fucking a kid, I'm like, they're always hot. And it's like,
Right?
this is just like, what's the crime? And they got them to go to jail.
Statutory rape.
Yeah, I mean, but come on, like,
That's the actual. That's the crime.
if
Yeah,
it was
but like if it's when it's a guy student
Yeah.
and a girl, like I think it's different. I think
gonna-
if it's a girl student and a guy,
Yeah.
I look at that as like he's kind of preying on her.
Right.
Totally.
You know, but the other way around. It's like the guy. You know, the guy. We're all guys.
The guy could have
You
stopped
know,
it.
the guy. He could have stopped it, and
The
you know
guy
he
could have
wants it.
physically stopped it if he
He
wanted to.
didn't feel intimidated. He wasn't worried about getting a grade.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
he wanted it all. You know?
What did Jacqueline Phoenix's Joker say? I'm tired of pretending it's not. It's awesome.
it's also
and I'm
like,
tired of pretending it's not.
that means you're the man. That
Yeah.
means you're cool.
Yeah.
If you're a girl and you do that, you're right. It's just not right. I don't even know why it's different. I mean,
Just think of it. If you had a
because
son,
technically they're both kids.
Because girls are they're the gentler sex.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We're guys. We like rough shit. We're nuts. Girls they're calmer.
Right.
Why
And
are
also,
you cracking up?
you also just think of some creepy dude, and you're like, well, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
But
it's like,
then the
it's like, well,
hot
you can't fuck girls your age. You're fucking you're
Right,
a loser.
right.
You gotta go and be grabbing at 16-year-olds. Like, yeah, no,
Right.
it's not cool.
listen, if you're 16 years old, you get a chance to bang your teacher, get yourself a slip of get yourself a sip of brute seltzer, eat a battle bar, and fucking go to town on that, all
And
right?
stop
If you're a
snitching.
16-year-old male.
If you're a male.
Right, and
if you're
stop
a male.
snitching.
If you're a man.
Stop snitching on those teachers.
No, there's no way. Come on.
Stop
That's
it.
impossible. If I bang a teacher, everybody's hearing about it. Everybody.
Yeah, well-
Everybody. I'm taking videos about it.
And you're
I'm making
and you're fucking ruining her life.
Yeah, it's messed up.
I got what I needed out of her life.
Selfish, brother. Shit, selfish.
Magic?
Selfish.
Next.
Selfish.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, it's there is something weird about
Gerard's
people.
a fucking snitch bitch. I'm Gerard Michaels, and he's a narc snitch bitch over here.
I'm a narc. I'm a Patriot Front fed narc. But there is something weird, I think, about people who never leave school. Like, teachers never leave school. They go from school to college, which is school, then
Right.
back to school. So there's something about.
Well, I don't think I mean, Scoop said he didn't like school. I didn't like school. Did you like school? Did you like having to go sit in a desk and raise your hand and ask to take a piss and ask to do anything and shut up and don't talk? Like,
No.
I don't
But
like any of that
in
shit.
retrospect, there was some pretty cool stuff about it,
And
right?
that's
Like,
the thing. Some people who loved it, I understand why they'd want to be a
yeah.
teacher.
I like being, king shit football player. I was a big fan of that. I liked the fact that women were required by law to sit next to me for 8 hours a day. That's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I mean, in retrospect, there's some benefits to school.
There are a few.
Especially senior year, where all I did is go to lunch, gym for 4 periods. So, if senior year would be, I'd go to school every day if it was senior year. Right. But, the idea of... Bro, I knew...
No, you're not making your point, though.
No, it's worthless. It's really worthless.
What's worthless?
Our current educational
The reason why I brought it up is because you said you can't understand like teachers going from school to school to school, then back to school.
No, I didn't say that. I said there's something I think happens to them.
Oh, they get indoctrinated into that?
Yeah, or like they lose,
don't wanna leave.
They lose the ability to see themselves as like adults. Like school has such a hierarchical culture between like the cool kids or whatever. Like there's something competitive about these women that sees like a
women.
Yeah, I think so. I think like why do
one
these,
of my best friends
sees the
is a
jock.
teacher. He's a math teacher and a special ed teacher. And like he had nephews who were special ed, so that kind of was like he wanted to go and be able to help
those
more
people
kids.
are very, very, like, you talk about like noble people. Those people have chosen a very noble path in life.
Yeah.
Very noble. That
my aunt
patience
did
of the
that too. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, so my college, a guy that played college baseball with me, really, really attractive dude, had long hair. He was 22 years old. He was the varsity soccer coach at 22 years old. And female varsity girls soccer coach. 1 year out of college. Yeah, and like he's telling me, and it's a game for these girls. Like he has them running, like every coach has them running, and then they start sweating too much and they're taking their tops off, and he's got these like, he's got these girls who are 5
He's
years
like,
younger
oh, she
than him.
totally wants me. It's like, no, she's just hot.
But then
He thinks. I know what he thinks.
yeah,
but-
and listen, all I'm saying is that it's a recipe for disaster.
I like grandmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I like
old?
women in their 50s.
Yeah.
The highest I've ever gone is
Grandma in their 50s.
55.
Nice.
55?
Take it down.
Yeah.
Taking down a 50.
I don't know if she was a grandma. I'm just saying, when I said grandma, that was just a euphemism
Florida's
for older.
changed my
ladies.
opinion completely on the older ladies.
How so?
They keep themselves mint down here. There's some
Sometimes they spend a little too long in the sun.
there's some mint.
Getting a little,
leather
getting a little
shit.
crispy, a little
There's some
leathery,
leathery
it's like-
look.
There's
Yeah.
some mint condition octogenarians down here. Let me tell you something.
You
There's
talking
some
Latinas or?
Octogenarians?
octogenarians.
That.
It's people in their 80s.
Oh my God.
You imagine what I would do to an 80-year-old's fucking hip and pelvis? There's just no way. Yeah, it would be osteoporosis from the jump.
That osteoporosis pussy. I'm gonna get you pregnant, but you can't get pregnant. Dirty Rock, we call it Dirty Rock. That's the slicker dick.
Was that
Every gay motherfucker on that airplane was checking out Mick.
Tracy Morgan?
Of course it was Tracy Morgan. I could tell by the first line.
Lauren Michaels. That's my Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You mean was that? It was obviously Tracy Morgan.
We need
Tracy Morgan's
to-
a national treasure.
We need to get like Scoop doing like just 10 minutes
I
of
bet-
different things.
I
And
bet
anytime
Scoop-
there's a lull, we just hit a button and it's Scoop.
Scoop, I got an idea. All right? Putting you on the spot. Run through, like, as many impressions as you want to do. Don't say who it is. Well, I bet we can identify each one.
I like it. Let's do it.
How can anyone say that Charlie Murphy is better than Eddie Murphy? That's bullshit. Oh, Sherman.
Eddie Murphy.
I said his name.
Yeah, you said the names.
Right, so that
I
was
got
one-
it, though. I got it. Everybody heard that. I got it.
I gotta tell you guys,
George. No, that's Bill
did
Clinton.
not have sexual relations with Gerard.
Clinton.
Why lie, Clinton? Why lie?
We're gonna need to do is
Obama?
marry a trans person, and a lot of people say that Michelle and I.
You got to mix in a let me be clear there.
Let me be clear. What we're gonna need to do is
And then he had speech voice. Every president has speech voice and interview voice. Like Obama's speech voice.
there is no such thing as red states or blue states. This is the
cadence.
United States
Yeah,
of
he
America.
turns into a preacher. He really
Yeah,
does.
but
He gets a little southern
then when
preacher.
he's one-on-one, it's a little more like this.
And then Trump is just. She had a cat named Vagina. Unbelievable. He's the fucking best. It's like, how do you go from that to?
Pussy
Well,
ain't
what we
pussy.
have here is if you look at the data points, the sanctimonious.
Sorry, I know he's cool. He's fine. He's doing a great job. You opened up during COVID. How long is that gonna last? COVID
best-
was like 10 years ago.
The best part for a political junkie like me, the best part about Trump is how obvious it is when he goes off script and how bored he is with reading his speechwriter's speeches.
Right.
He'll be doing. They say this has been the best
And
quarter.
he'll go like this
We've
when-
done more. Everybody knows that though, right? Like everybody. Like he goes completely. He starts ad libbing.
There is no. Oh shit! Hang on. When we stand together as one, there is no mountain that we can't climb. We all bleed the same blood of patriots. So anyway, Hillary, what a cunt, right? What a cunt. If you look at the emails, Megyn Kelly, there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her
Everywhere.
wherever. As far as blood goes, and I know blood.
Oh my god. Oh man, that's phenomenal.
You got a few more to rattle off before we get out of here?
Well, can I give him a scenario like we were doing? Let's share it with the people.
Are doing the impression of the place you see what they would
Do people still know who that is?
Oh yeah, dude.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Let me think. Well, this one's a long time. This is before I was born with Ronald Reagan, and then he got that disease, and la-di-da-di-da. You know, they said he had dementia, like in the last 3 years of his presidency.
Apparently.
And,
You know, they
that
said
was, he was
Nancy.
the original Biden.
Nancy was known as being the original Karen Stevens. Karen Stevens?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Corinne.
The chicken head?
Corinne, the
Chicken head?
throat goat?
Yeah, the throat goat. Apparently,
What do they call
Nancy
it? They had a
throat
different
goat.
name for her.
Superhead.
Superhead.
Yeah, Corinne Steppens was it? Corinne? Apparently,
like that.
the word goes old Nancy Reagan threw down.
They were way around a shaft and a head. Huh?
Yeah, that's what they say.
And the
They say
balls.
what do they call that?
Whatever else.
The Burbank Good Morning. Wasn't that from the old Nicole Brown Simpson thing there? The Burbank Good Morning.
Huh.
Apparently, they would just go around to each other's like. From the OJ thing, they would just go around to each other's, their neighbor's house and like wake their neighbor's husbands up. Cool
With a
neighborhood.
dick in their mouth? That's crazy.
Cool neighborhood, man. Yeah, old Mama Kardashian was a whole part of that jam.
Old Mama Kardashian. I could even do impressions of dead people. That's a little
Gilbert Gottfried.
Gottfried.
Nice.
We haven't gotten one. I don't think you can. Try and stump us. Give us an obscure one. Everyone, I know it within 2 seconds of him doing it.
Okay, let me think.
I mean, that's a credit to him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's a
saying
credit to
I'm the
him.
fucking man. I'm saying it's how good he is.
I'm trying to think here.
We would have got the Bill Burr one. We would have got the Sebastian one.
Yep. Cat Williams, we would have got.
Cat Williams easy.
Do you
I
know
did a little Kramer before Jerry. Oh yeah. And Jerry, what do you, Mike? The Kramer one's a lot. Well, Jerry, it's a lot more physical. Yeah, I gotta slide in. You guys know Kramer?
that was
That's Jerry Seinfeld.
that was Trump as Kramer.
What are you gonna do?
What? Did you ever
We're
get?
doing deals, Jerry.
Did you ever get?
That was a 3-in-1 right there.
Jerry, everybody wants a blizzard. What the hell?
It's an ensemble cast right
This is
here.
crazy. You ever get worried you're gonna get stuck in a loop? Like, that's it. This is just who you are now.
Oh, because you'd be in jail, Hillary.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
This is crazy. I don't know. Hey, let me get. Can you do a Mickey Gall? What's your Mickey Gall? Let me get a Mickey Gall impression here.
I don't think it could be done.
Oh, it can't be done. Well, Mickey's just like real cool, you know? He's got like a little, almost like a little Mark Wahlberg thing going on, but he's just like, and he almost like plays like he's like dumb, but he's actually really smart. But he's also like, he's just like no homo. He's like super impressive, you know? And it's like, he's confident, but I don't know. I gotta.
It was pretty good.
USA.
I was also sitting down. You've been standing the whole time. So in my head,
let's get up.
I'm doing the impression
you got to get up and you got to take your shirt off. If we're gonna do it, we got to do it right. I mean, if we're gonna do it.
We're not removing the shirt.
You look at bad on the beach the other day at Sahara. Jill, we call it elder abuse, right? I don't know. China, no. I want to do, who's like a world leader? I want to do Putin.
Well, you're gonna have to learn Russian, bud.
Can we get a Gerard Michaels?
I got a Gerard. Damn, I would love to do an impression of Gerard. Let me think.
I think you're nailing it right now.
You're a wizard, Harry. I used to do a I used to have a joke. I used to have a joke that Hagrid was a pedophile. I'm like, why is he always hanging out with kids?
What the fuck?
Why is he always hanging out with children?
Impression is Hagrid.
He's always fuck. Why is he always hanging out with fucking children?
So wait, Mickey's impression is he's the coolest guy ever. And I'm the fucking ogre, Hagrid. That's it. Wrap it up. Tell people where they can find you, you piece of shit.
I love these guys. You can find me at Jason Scoop on Instagram, at Jason Scoop Comedy on TikTok and YouTube.
It's a great follow. Highly recommend. Great follow. Yeah, check out Scoop for sure.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And what's next for you, Scoop? What's next for you, bud?
Big. Well, this Saturday I might actually meet the Donald again.
This is Saturday.
Oh yeah, today. Today he's gonna be meeting him.
Yes, so I might be meeting the Donald today. And aside from that, I have a big show in August. Where Alex Jones is on the lineup and Roseanne Barr.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'll be posting about that when more detail. In Las Vegas, Nevada.
Vegas, all right, cool.
Which is where I had my supernatural incident where I walked into a bathroom, went back to that same bathroom.
Hey, listen, let's talk about it. There's no reason to wrap up. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. Full stop. Reverse.
We got more Scoop. Scoop, doggy. Get him, dog.
So I had an
nobody. I thought we were doing something there.
Oh. Yeah, I had
an wow, yippee yo, yippee yay, bow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay.
Damn. Wow.
Scoop, doggy, dog.
But yeah, Gerard, I've told you about this. This one single incident has completely fucked up my head for the rest of my life. It was after 2 days of insane drinking and insane, not just drinking, but like eating pizza and fried chicken and all this shit. I wake up my third day in Vegas and I'm like, I can't drink yet today. I need to nurse myself back to good health so I can continue drinking. So I'm totally sober. We go to the Port Orleans Hotel and Casino, which is way off the strip for a film festival we're doing. And we're at the TGI Fridays. It was the only restaurant that was open. And I feel like I got to take a shit. So I get up. I'm like, hey, where's the bathroom? And she goes, it's right there across the casino floor. So I said, okay, you can see it from the place. And I remember every landmark I walked by, the Michael Jackson slot machine, the old lady with the super long cigarettes, the young black kid with like the diamonds in his glasses. And I go to the bathroom. I go in there. I have to use the stall. So I check each stall. They're all occupied. So I'm waiting. I stand to the side. I'm waiting for the stall. Really weird tall guy. Like everybody's freakishly tall in this bathroom. He walks by and I'm like, hello, dude. I don't say anything, but like my body language, I'm like, dude, line, there is a line. I'm in a line. So then he kind of shuffles to my side. Now I'm standing there 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I notice that guy's been at the urinal this whole time. Why has that man been standing at the urinal for 3 fucking minutes? What is going on? Then I hear flush. The second I hear the flush, door opens. That was the one thing that I noted that was like weird. Because normally it's like flush, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, door opens. Right. I hear flush, door opens. I'm like, odd. Dude, like almost like he does an L turn. He like comes out, turns. When I say I was struck by his appearance, I just looked at him for a second. I was like, damn, that's a weird looking MF. pale skin, wearing all black. He kind of looked like the guy who played the Nazi in the first Indiana Jones movie who burns his hand, except older and more. He just looks so freaky. So I go in, I do my business, I take a shit, I come out, I wash my hands, I go back to the restaurant. I go back to that same bathroom 10 minutes later. I walk past the old lady smoking the cigarettes, the Michael Jackson slot machine, the black kid with the glasses. I walk into the bathroom. This time I just have to pee. I walk into the stall. I do my thing. I wash my hands. I'm like 5 paces before exiting, and I'm like, wait a minute. I turn around. Where I had taken the shit before was now just tiles. The stalls were on this side, where I noticed that guy pissing for like 3 minutes, where people were washing their hands at a sink, and where everybody was washing their hands before, where I washed my hands the first time, people were standing at the urinal. The whole bathroom flipped around. And I've told many people about this. I've told Christians, Jews, Buddhists, atheists, spiritual people, non-spiritual. And the main consensus around the whole thing is basically like people think that guy was a demon of some sort, that creepy looking fuck that came out of the stall. And that's it. That's all I could say. I don't know. There's no conclusive theory. And then they say, oh, was it the wrong bathroom? No. I came out, women's, men's. I did a walk around the whole thing. I asked the staff, is there any other men's bathrooms around here? They're like, you got to walk 10 miles there. The shit fucked me up. But if there's anything, and I know it's crazy, it sounds crazy, but that's what happened. That's my lived experience.
And then you had a friend of yours in L.A. that told you about some Satanist shit that was going on and all that stuff.
Oh, well, yeah. I met a girl who, she told me she used to date some rapper. I'm not going to say the rapper's name, but she said he admitted, and she didn't tell me what. She was very cagey about the details.
You want to do an impression of him or something?
No. She said, because I had just gotten back from Florida and I was around a bunch of evangelical Christians. So I'm like, the evangelicals, and she kind of rolls her eyes and I'm like, yeah, they're kind of a weird bunch. And then she goes, and then I'm like, they kept talking about the devil, and she's like, kind of like, huh. And I'm like, what's that? She's like, well, I just know things. And I was like, what do you mean you know things? Like, you can't just tell me you know things about the devil. She's like, well, yeah. Well, she's like, remember I told you I used to date that rapper? And she's like, well, I was in that world and I was 18 and I would see things and I would be like, this isn't right. There's something. And then after this encounter with her, I did like a week straight of research. I looked up everything I could find on YouTube, everything I could find on Rumble, everything I could find on the dark web, everything I could find. I talked to a lot of people who followed me. I'm like, you were a songwriter. Tell me about da-da-da-da. And basically, the main consensus is that there's some sort of satanic cabal that runs the music industry. And then you start to see the chick who's the spirit cooker, and I Googled it, the spirit cooker. She has a spell, mix blood with semen and piss and then da-da-da and drink it. And then I see her with Jay-Z, with Bill Gates, with Lady Gaga, who's throwing up on stage in people's mouths. And then you see the symbols and the thing, and it's like, oh. And honestly, it was driving me nuts. I had to stop thinking about it. Like, I just want to be a guy and hang out with you people
what type of stuff did
do
she tell
shots
you
and
that
fucking
she
go to
saw?
sleep and jerk off. Like, I can't, it's like too much.
What type of stuff did she tell you she saw?
She didn't tell me. She mentioned no specifics. All I could tell you is she was shook, man. She was shook. And this is a sweet girl. And I ended up fucking her, but I was scared to fuck her. I was scared to fuck her because I'm like, if she had devil dick in her, because I talked to the evangelical Christian bitch and she was like, I wouldn't fuck her.
Of course.
Of course, yeah. Dude, the evangelicals.
That's why they'll never know your name.
The evangelicals, like, whatever, like, I'm all about God, but the organized religion thing, there's so much tomfoolery in that shit. And also, yeah, people kind of use it as a veil. The Christianity thing, probably every religion, but yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's
Do
it.
Bill Cosby again.
You'll see. Oh,
No.
then I did shrooms the other. Well, that's not even. I don't want to talk about drug stuff. I want to talk about you know what I mean? Because drugs make your brain act weird.
Right.
So I don't want.
And when you had your bathroom occurrence, completely sober.
100% sober.
Yeah. Wow.
Not even a beer or anything like that.
Vegas, how far from Roswell? Maybe it was an alien, interdimensional
Well,
bathroom.
then I spoke to another girl, this hottie on fucking Instagram, who's a fan of mine from Texas, and
Scoop clearly has a type.
Do I? When on my way,
I have the same type, hot and nuts.
Well, on my way here at the airport, a woman offered me blow and offered to suck me off in the bathroom, but she was missing multiple teeth.
On the way here,
Literally
I
at
picked
the
you up-
airport.
I picked
No,
you up at your hotel.
no, at John F. Kennedy International Airport.
Oh, really?
I posted about it on Instagram.
Man, the White House cocaine has got people feeling real free and easy. we can bring our 8 balls.
I mean, you want me to tell that story? I mean, it's not that interesting. But so I'm in line in security, and I notice this chick behind me, bunch of tattoos all over the face, all over the hands, all over everything. So I'm in my own little zone, and I start listening to Michael Jackson, actually. I'm listening to The Way You Make Me Feel with my headphones on, so I'm dancing, and I glance around, and I notice every time I glance around, she's smiling at me. So then I go through the this thing. You know this thing?
Of course.
So I'm in that thing, and I'm still feeling a little playful. So I'm standing there. I don't have my headphones on because it's in the thing, but I'm like, So I do a little dance. I look over, like on cue, she was standing there, smiling at me. So then, now I'm like, okay. So I get my shit, put my shoes on. I go to the terminal. I see there's a restaurant with a bar. So I'm like, okay. Also,
It's impossible for me to know if you're telling the story or if I'm supposed to be ascertaining if this is a character.
No, this is real.
Okay.
Before I left my house, I had a very light cotton hoodie with Corona Extra on it, and I wanted to wear it. But I noticed the armpits were like dirty, and I've washed it. Every time I wash it, the armpits stay dirty, so I threw it out. When I got past security, I saw a guy wearing that exact thing. The girl walks past me, goes into the bar. I said, I knew she was going to go into the bar. So I'm like, now let me go into the bar. I sit over here. What is she drinking? A Corona Extra. See, this is what I mean, how shit connects. So, and I didn't talk to her. I didn't know, but I was hoping she would talk to me. So I was like, she's like, why don't you come over here? I don't bite.
Well, she doesn't have teeth.
Yeah, she was missing. And the ones she did have were fucking like green.
Oof.
Brownish. Okay.
I'm out.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
So
What the ass look like?
She's all like move aroundy and everything. And I actually bring up the bathroom thing to her because I always try to have deep conversations. I don't care if like a girl's about to suck me off. I'm like, what do you think of God? What do you think of the devil? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? I always bring this shit up. So I tell her about the bathroom, and you know what the funniest thing is? You know how I just told you, were you sober?
Tell me your thoughts on God.
Right. So she says to me,
Because I'm on my way to meet her.
She goes, were you fucked up when I tell her the bathroom story? And I go, no, I was totally sober. And the look on her face was like, she was like, that's horrible.
Gross. You had to be sober?
Right.
What does that feel like? Ew.
So then she goes, when I was locked up. So I was like, what were you locked up for? She's like, possession. I was like, possession of what? She's like, cocaine. So then I go, I fucking love cocaine. And she's like, I got some. And then I was like, you seem like you have some. You're kind of giving off that energy. And then she's like, we can go do some together in the bathroom. And you're kind of cute.
She got through TSA with
and
this,
she's like, yeah. And she was like, I've been thinking about you. Da 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 da. And I was like, yeah.
Black chick?
No, she was white. I have a.
Oh, show a picture.
Let's not do that.
Okay, yeah, we won't show a picture.
On
but
air. Show us after, though.
yeah. Well, I was going to show you privately. I wasn't going to post it to the. I was going to show it to the camera. Yeah, what do you mean through? You know how many people get blow through TSA? I've never done it, but weed and all that other shit. They don't really check for drugs. They're checking for weapons at TSA. For the most part.
Do not take that as advice, people listening to this.
Yeah, no, I would never. I personally would never. I would never take anything through there. But
she was a trained professional. She was booting that thing in a hollow crevice.
But yeah.
Nah, they'd see that in the fucking this machine.
Oh, that's probably right.
Yeah, nah,
yeah, they gotta pat you down.
Stick that in the bag somewhere.
Shit. Yeah. Have you ever had
I used to always
anybody?
try when I'd go through that, because you know how they say it's bad for you, and like they don't like let kids go through and like pregnant people.
Yes,
and shit like that.
yeah.
I used to always like try and like hold my breath in there.
Really?
Like this doesn't make a difference.
No.
Like I'm still getting the fucking radioactive fucking whatever the hell.
Have
I
you
used to
had
do that near the microwave too. I didn't know how things worked.
That, you know what? There might be something to that. RFK is like the brain-blood barrier or something I've never heard of before that I have to worry about now. It's like, is this real? Is there a brain-blood barrier? What the fuck?
I put my phone on airplane mode every night.
Because of the Rogan interview?
That I've heard. I've had people. Our boy Tuco, who did the podcast, used to tell me to do that. A lot of people I've heard. But it works great because your alarm will still go off.
Yeah.
And I can still listen to my fucking my book on tape as I go to sleep. So
Yeah.
I'm Gucci. And it's like a do not disturb. No calls or texts will go through.
Pretty good.
Airplane mode it, y'all.
I got one last question for you, Scoop. One last question here, bud. And I need you to be honest on this one.
Sure.
Have you banged anyone as the Trump character? Has any of your fans asked to get railed by the Donald?
No, but my last girlfriend, we did a skit where she played like my mistress, and it was like a Melania character. And this is one of the first times I ever had sex with her. I'm having sex with her on her couch, and she starts to do, she's like, oh, Donald, oh. And I'm like, at first I was like shocked and kind of like weirded out, but then I was like, this is fucking wild. And then I leaned into it.
Great.
I leaned into it. And then, because somebody else just recently asked me this question. And
Is this sketch available? I mean, for people to watch?
No, this is not available for consumption. Follow me on Patreon. No, I don't have a Patreon yet. That's coming soon. Yeah, that's the only.
So you went all in. Good for you. You yes-anded.
And there is another girl who said, I have trouble. She's texting me. She's like, I'm at work. Trump just came on the TV in the break room. She's like, I couldn't watch it. She's like, because like when I see him, she's like, I think of you. And she's like, I get to. It's like, so somehow the actual Trump, I guess, kind of turns her on through her view of my Trump impression. It's super weird, but I love weird shit.
Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
And when that girl did that,
Get in where you
Melania,
fit in, baby.
Yeah.
that shit was so weird, but I'm like, fuck it, because it's like, come on, the same in and out. Let's spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's do something interesting.
What's the weirdest cameo request you've ever got? Because you're doing good on Cameo, yeah?
Yeah, things are going well.
Speaking of, if you want a cool cameo, if you're thinking of a cool gift, hit up Scoop and have,
anybody, all the impressions. Trump is the main one I do.
It's great if you know somebody in your life who hates Trump.
Right.
Send them like a happy birthday from Trump.
Yeah, I get a lot
If you
of
want to
those.
break up with somebody, the best way to break up is to have the Donald fire them for you.
Yeah, I saw Bruce Buffer did one of those too. He's like, hey, Amanda, from your boyfriend Josh, it is no longer going to be your boyfriend.
Get out of here, seriously?
But I've done things like that. I've done Trump convincing a guy to break up with his 2 girlfriends. I've done Trump announcing to a family that the man's wife is pregnant. I've done Trump asking somebody, could you be the godfather of this child? And I've also, the most touching one I've ever done was a guy who, his sister doesn't talk to him anymore because he's a Republican and she's a Democrat. And she thought, he's like, I see how your impression, both sides kind of like it. And he asked me to do like this heartfelt thing to try to get his sister to talk to him again. I don't think it worked out because he didn't reach back to me, like, because he sent me a DM on Instagram about it. But that, to me, that was kind of like weirdly touching.
Oh, it's cool as hell.
Yeah, that's cool.
Weird. These people are weird that they would.
Everybody's weird.
They're weird that they would let politics break up a family. It's insane.
Yeah.
These people don't care about you. As the great Chaz Palminteri once said in A Bronx Tale,
Mickey Mantle don't pay your bills.
You crying about Mickey Mantle? See if your father can't pay your bills. See if Mickey Mantle gives a damn. Nobody cares, kid. Nobody cares. Don't break up your family over these people. They're using us, all of us. And on that note, I am Gerard Michaels. That is the great Mickey Gall. For Omri back in the Gas Digital Studios, for the podcast junkies, Christian and Ben here, and the amazing Jason Scoop. This has been Slick and Thick.